everybody, it's your girl Annette J. Morris, the owner and CEO of Go Getter LLC and your host for the Mind TV series. Y'all know the Mind is an acronym for moving in new directions, and every week, this week, just like every week, I brought to you all a guest that's going to talk to you all about their entrepreneurship journey, as well as how this journey has helped them to move their life in new directions. This week, I have none other than my girl, Candy, one of my favorite newest clients. So, Candy, tell the people who you are.
My name is Candy Rose. I'm actually the owner of Enhanced Tax and Consulting, where we specialize in helping new and aspiring tax preparers get started in the tax industry or advance in their current tax business.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. I'm also an owner of a Liberty Tax Service.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't forget the other big part, Law. She a franchise owner, y'all. So wait, tell them what the franchise is.
Liberty Tax Service.
Liberty Tax Services. So, Candy, how did you get into the tax business, girl? Because listen, numbers ain't my thing. My degrees are in psychology and counseling. When people start talking about numbers, especially once the numbers start having them ABCs and them lines and stuff, that ain't my thing. So how did you get into taxes?
Well, really, accounting is my background. So I was an accountant.
Okay.
And somehow we were having a topic on a conversation on franchises.
Okay.
The manager at the time just mentioned something about her friend was a franchise owner, but she was switching to Liberty Tax Service because the franchise fee or the startup cost was cheaper.
Okay.
Somehow that just sparked an interest for me and to my coworkers. So, we just started researching.
Okay.
Franchises, Liberty Tax, the payoff, things of that nature. So we were actually supposed to start together that year.
Okay.
All together, but things didn't work out. One person started, so I just, planned it, got my finances together, and started the following year. And I've been in entrepreneurship ever since.
Awesome. And how long has that been?
8 years.
8
Next year,
years.
9 years.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Let's tell people that. So you were employed. Where were you employed prior to being an entrepreneur?
At the city of New Orleans, then
Okay.
I went to a private company right before.
Okay.
Right
okay.
after.
Right after. Okay. All right. And then you've been a full-time entrepreneur now for almost 9 years.
I've been an entrepreneur for 9 years, full time, just a year and a half.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, but still, entrepreneurship is a whole journey.
It's a journey.
How did you get to the point where you went from full-time employment to full-time entrepreneurship? What was that transition like?
It was definitely a blessing. So I just was in a position to be able to this is my time. This is my time. To step out and just to do my own thing. So it was definitely a transition, but it was very, very good. So initially it didn't feel like a difference because I quit my job in January, so I went from working to working or working to grind because that was tax season.
That's tax season,
That's
right?
tax season. So I was working, grinding, trying to reach my goals and things of that nature for tax season. But once tax season was finished, I was able to experience true entrepreneurship. The freedom.
Yes, the freedom.
The flexibility, the convenience, all of that.
Yes.
That was good.
It's very different being an entrepreneur, and I always tell them the same thing. Like, when you are employed by somebody, even as far as like the revenue, do you notice that you make more revenue as an entrepreneur? Absolutely, because it's almost like limitless revenue. Right. You make as much as you desire to make, right? So you set income goals and you set your goals at whatever it is, and then you reach those particular goals based on some type of strategy or blueprint that you'll follow to reach those particular goals. And that's the thing, like when you are working for somebody, you don't have that luxury to set your salary, right? You are at the salary or at the mercy of whoever that business owner is. So if they say your salary is $40,000, it doesn't matter how much you work or how many income goals you establish, you're only gonna make whatever that job position pays, right? And nothing more, right? Unless they give you overtime, whatever that is, right? And that's not necessarily guaranteed on any job, right? A lot of jobs that I had, you can't even get overtime. So that wasn't even an option, right? So what was the salary cap? Because I tell people when I was working, and I've been a full-time entrepreneur now for 11 years, but as a therapist with a master's degree, my salary was $40,000. What the heck can you do with $40,000? But salaries for accountants are more than $40,000. What was the salary range for you
I
all?
ended at 67 when I left my job.
Okay.
67,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find like it was necessary? Because I've been talking to, and I've always worked with people that were transitioning from full-time employment to full-time entrepreneurship, right? And they're under the mindset of, I have to replace my salary. And I'm telling them, you don't have to replace your salary, because sometimes we make more money than we actually need, and we waste more money than anything, right? So I always tell my people when they are transitioning from full-time employment to full-time entrepreneurship, you need to generate enough to pay your bills, not
Right.
replace your salary, cover your overhead, right?
Right.
So what was that experience like for you?
And basically that's what it was. When I started working my job,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that it replaced my salary. It was just that, at that time the business was able to, handle its own.
Mm-hmm.
It could stay on its own. The business was generating a profit,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. So, I wasn't really even paying myself.
Okay.
Just like you said, I only needed enough to, pay to pay my personal bills.
Mhm.
And basically that's how it was. So initially I didn't replace my salary. I wasn't even getting a salary.
Right. Mhm.
Right. So like you said, I just did enough to be able to pay my bills and things of that nature.
Okay. And what did you do to help start? Because your business you're doing a lot now. You're not just doing taxes. Tell the people everything that you do with Enhance.
Right, and that's the thing as well with the job and entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Once I quit my job, it gave me so much time
Mm-hmm.
to work on and to focus on this new business,
Mm-hmm.
the Enhanced Tax and Consulting. So with that business, I help entrepreneurs start their own tax business. So it's like a mentorship. It's like a 6-week mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you every step of the way. Start your tax business, from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
So when January comes, your tax business will be ready, up and rolling, to be a successful tax business. So quitting that job allowed me to put those 8 hours until my business.
Right.
And that helps so much.
Right. So how is it balancing the kids, the business, all of the other things that you have to do? So how many other things are you involved in besides, just the business? Because you have a whole life outside of that.
Right.
Mhm.
So, right, and that was one of my weaknesses.
Mhm.
When I was working a job as well as having a business. For some reason, I just couldn't get the work-life balance under control.
Mhm.
That was like my whole thing because I worked a 9 to 5.
Mhm.
I had a full-time. I have a business, a
Mhm.
building, a full staff, payroll, utilities, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm a mother.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I was a wife.
Mhm.
I had stepkids. Then with your kids, they have their own schedules.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So it was just a lot, but somehow through the grace of God,
Mhm.
I was able to do it and maneuver. But sometimes things still fell kind of by the wayside.
Correct.
Sometimes I may have to. Sometimes I may neglect the kids.
Mhm.
Or sometimes the husband may be neglected.
Mhm.
So we wear so many hats
Yes.
that was the only hard part for me was that work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was able to quit that job, it
Mhm.
freed up so much time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It freed up so much time. So now I work my business like a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Mm-hmm.
I work so I in the workspace, I had a good work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting paid a salary, so I wasn't getting paid for overtime and all that type of stuff like that.
Correct.
So
Mhm.
I work hard. I do overtime and things of that nature. So I use that same mentality
Mhm.
and put it on my business.
Correct.
So 9 to 5, I'm working my business. After that, I'm free with my kids.
Correct.
So prior to that, I had to work a business, go pick up the kids, do this and do that and do that. Then work some more on the business.
Correct.
Now 9 to 5 is the business. After that is my free time. I can enjoy my
With
kids.
your kids.
So
Correct.
that's a blessing.
Correct. Absolutely. And that's one of the things. Like it's really a struggle, especially when you like still working and trying. Cause like 9 to 5 is the business, and then 5 to 9 is your business, right? Cause you working for somebody, you employed by somebody, so you got to give them that 9 to 5. But you also got to give the same hustle and energy to your business to try to build it, so you can replace that, right? So you find yourself working 9 to 5 here, 5 to 9 here, and something is gonna fall by the wayside.
Right.
But also, like when I first started being an entrepreneur, when I started being an entrepreneur, I was a full-time entrepreneur. So trying to build that at the same time, you know what I mean? Because in your mind, you like, oh my God, I still have to feed my children. Oh my God, I still have to pay tuition. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff. So I was like in full hustle mode, and I found myself doing the same thing. Like I'm working from 4 a.m. to like 9 and 10 p.m. and go to take a little nap and get back up and do the same thing. So it was like full hustle mode. It wasn't until years later where I was like, you know what, you're making enough money. You could slow down some. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta work this hard no more. You know, those type of things or whatever. So the importance, I heard you talk about like work-life balance. Like, you all have to establish that balance, right? Because a lot of times what happens is we get so ingrained into the business that we lose sight of the reason why we went into entrepreneurship. Most of the time, most of us go into entrepreneurship for the freedom and flexibility, and then we get so caught up in the hustle and behind that laptop that we lose the freedom and flexibility of it all. Right. So what are some of the things that your children are involved in? What does Mom Candy look like?
Well, I'm a dance mom. So my oldest daughter, you know, she's a dancer. So
Okay.
She have practice every week. She have football games every week. And then once parade roll around, she have parade. So I'm at the football game sometimes, but for parade season, with her for parade season. My other daughter, she's not on the dance team or anything anymore, but she wants to do acting.
Okay.
So we're gonna enroll her into acting, and then I have a 3-year-old.
Liberty baby.
So this year it's his first year into school.
Okay.
It's a big boy school, as we call it. So you know he's busy. He's a busybody.
Okay.
Yes, I have my 2 girls. I have my my boy, and you know their schedules on birthday parties and things of that nature.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
So you're able to maintain all of that and juggle all of that because entrepreneurship, like, you the boss. So who gonna tell you, who gonna fire you for doing anything that you have to do for your kids?
Exactly, it's a blessing because you know prior to that, you know, when you work a job, the kids have field trips. You know, you really don't want to call off, you know, from the job. You want to be that good worker. You don't want to miss days. You don't want to call off. So now, you know, you that flexibility. My kids, my son has you know, field trips. I can go on a field trip with my son, so it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding. So you know, it just puts a smile on my face because as I compare, you know, prior, you know, to right now, it's definitely rewarding, a good feeling.
Okay, all right. And then also, because I heard you say you were married previously, which means you're divorced. Look, I'm divorced too, so I know how that life is. So how is it trying to balance your life as Candy? Because you know we can get lost in roles, like I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a this, I'm a business owner, I'm a coach. Like, you consult other people, whatever, and we lose sight of who we are as a person.
Right.
So how do you keep Candy on the front, taking care of like yourself, making sure you do the things that you want to do, and making sure you're refilling yourself consistently so that you can be present for your clients and your children and all of these other things?
Right. You know what? I've been in a transition. So like the last 2 years, it's been a transition for me, you know, for the better. I've grown in my business as well as personally. So I'm just growing in every aspect. And you know, it started with the separation and you know the divorce. Entrepreneurship really kind of helped me in that area.
Okay.
Because it was like an outlet for me. So, you know, with the separation and all the things that go along with the separation, the emotional roller coaster, you know, you're crying, all this type of things of that nature, trying to figure things out.
Correct.
You know, it was like I had to get myself together for my kids as well as a business. So it was like entrepreneurship was like an outlet for me as far as, you know, tax season. So, you know, I'm not just focused on my mind, just not on this separation, this divorce. You know, I'm tax season helped me. I'm busy. You know, my mind was focused on reaching these goals and things of you know, that nature. So now, you know, it just allowed entrepreneurship really helped.
Yeah.
It really helped. It was almost like a therapy for me because now, you know, I'm letting my success speak for itself.
Period. and it's speaking, baby. And it is speaking. Trust me.
Yes, you know, I'm just letting the success speak for itself. You know, so you know, like I said, it's been a transition. So you know, I just use the pain and the unfortunate situation just to fuel my fire and just put it back to my business, put it back in myself. You know, learning myself, growing, have personal development as well, being a better mom, being there for my kids, as well as just leveling up in every area. So it really helped. It really helped in that sense.
And it's really disheartening because we were talking in the mastermind, me and my best friend were talking, and we were saying like a lot of times after divorce, like some people crumble after divorce. You know, because it just be a lot of whatever, right? And then some women totally like elevate and soar after divorce because at that point you're able to like refocus your energy, right? Do you find like a lot of women, especially like successful women, those that like elevate after divorce, they were playing like small while they were married. Do you find that?
Probably a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, I don't think I was playing it small.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I was playing it small.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, once I didn't have that situation anymore,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's just like I soared.
Right.
You know, it's just like I soared.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just used the pain just to, cause I'm always a go-getter, want more, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I just for some reason I just used that painful experience
Mm-hmm.
and just to put in my business, to soar and to dominate. and
Correct.
things of that nature.
Correct.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what I realize is that we are distracted when we have all those situations going on, right? So when you able to, like when you can let all of that go and able to refocus, like you can put all of your mental faculties into your business and to accelerating in the thing that you want to do without distractions. So once you've eliminated the distractions, ain't nothing but up
Ain't
from
nothing
here.
but up.
Yeah.
Ain't
So
nothing but up.
what I was talking about was like a couple of sisters in my mastermind, were having the same situation. Like one of them just recently got divorced, and we were in Dominican Republic back in July. Like her divorce was finalized the day while we were there, and she was just saying like, I feel so free, like I can focus and do the things or whatever. But and she and I were talking again because I've been divorced as well, and she was like, because she was so mentally like bogged down, you know what I mean? And that happens like because people like us, like consultants and coaches and stuff, we literally like we don't do physical labor, but we need our brain and our mental capacities to be able to work, right? And when we are distracted and off focus, then we can't work like we should and accelerate like we should and succeed like we want to, right? Because we distracted with other things. But once you can clear that off your plate, we are forced to be reckoned with.
Right.
We are a force to be reckoned with, absolutely. So I'm glad that you were able to take the high road as opposed to allowing those situations to crumble, cause you to crumble. You use that pain for your purpose and help you to propel into, the candy that we see today.
Right. I didn't want to be known as the divorced entrepreneur who let the pain and the depression and all that cause our business to go under.
Correct.
I wanted to be the divorced entrepreneur that used that, to exceed and things of that nature. So, that's what it was.
And not look like what you've been through.
Right. That's God right there.
Okay. Because first of all, you got daughters looking at you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we gotta succeed for them in spite, because life gonna be lifing. Life gonna throw some curveballs no matter what position you in life. You know what I mean? So we have to be the example for them to say, listen, no matter what goes on in life, we have to get up and keep swinging.
Keep going. Right.
We got to get up and keep swinging no matter what, right? Because life has different advantages for men. And then sometimes we as women just have to keep fighting. I just had this conversation this morning, like, it's not really like equality, even like in the workplace. Like we and men could be doing the exact same job and men will get paid more than us, right? So we have to fight. And again, we may always have to fight, even our whole lifetime, right? We may not get past this until our children, we might die and this still not be, equal rights or whatever for women as it is for men. But as long as we here, we need to fight and then show the women behind us, like, hey, it's okay to have the life that you want to live, whatever that looks like, but you're going to have to fight for it.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to have to fight. You can't fold. You can't let life, cause you to fold, whatever it is. What did Candy do before Candy was an accountant?
Well, prior to that, I was in college. So straight from so after college, I started working as an accountant.
Okay.
So I went to Xavier University.
Come on, Xavier.
Yes.
Ex you, y'all. That's why I got my master's degree. A little biased, just a little biased.
And then, once I graduated from Xavier, I started working at Xavier.
Okay.
As an accountant. After that, I went to Children's Hospital as an accountant. After that, I went to the city. After that, I went to this private construction company as an accountant.
Okay.
And then I started
the tax service. Do
So,
you like taxes better than doing accounting work?
Or
is it just more lucrative to you?
I'm still an accountant.
Right. Yeah. Period. Right.
Yeah. So I do. What I like about it, I like helping others and training others to become tax business owners.
Right.
So I like the educational part of helping other individuals, teaching them taxes, helping them have their own business.
Businesses, right? Yeah. So most of your clientele, are they women?
I have mixed. Majority are women, but I do have a mix.
Okay, okay. Are they moms too? Yeah. So most of them gravitate towards you because like you're a mom, you doing a damn thing. They see that type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always seemed to be the case because a lot of times I seem to attract moms. And then when I was at the conference that I had to speak at a couple of weeks ago in Playa del Carmen, a lady walked up to me and she was like, "Is divorced moms your target population?" I was like, "Why you ask me that?" She was like, "Cause it just seemed like you attractive." I was like, let me think about that. I said, you know what? You might be right because a lot of people that come to me have come to me after divorce, you know, trying to reestablish their life and all that or whatever. I was like, I never noticed that. She was like, that might be your ministry. I was like, girl, let me pray on that. It might be my calling. I said, girl, look, let me pray on that because I hadn't even thought about that.
Wow.
But you realize, like, when you start showing up, because I know that you're showing up more, girl. I see the reels and all the other things, right?
Yes.
So when you start showing up more, you start attracting more of your target audience simply because right now, you know, if they know that you're divorced, they know that you a boss, they know that you still taking care of the kids, they know you showing up as your genuine self, right? But all of these things come along with you. That gives hope to another divorced woman to say, you know what? I could shine like candy after this or whatever. I don't have to fold, you know, that type of thing or whatever. I don't have to be depressed, or I could be depressed and still keep moving on, right? I don't have to stop because I'm depressed or fighting whatever it is, because it's just a normal process of like rebuilding your life after divorce or whatever, right? You're gonna have some sad days and that's okay, but it's not okay to fold and just sit down and do absolutely nothing, especially when we have small children. Like we have small children, so we can't afford to just sit down and do nothing, right? Because they looking at us, right? So we need to continue to lead them. Absolutely. So tax society, y'all, I want y'all, because Candy got so many layers. We ain't even got enough time to talk about all the stuff that Candy has to offer. But tell them about Tax Society, Tax School, because not only does she do like consultant work to help you build up your business, she has like Tax School for other people that want to come in, Tax Society. She has a membership, and y'all know I talk about streams of income. My friend called me the streams coach because I tell people, look, every business has at least 5 streams of income in it. She has several streams of income in her business, and again, this is one of my clients, so I've been working with her to be like, let's diversify this funding and have money coming in from everywhere to support our life. So tell them about Tax School and Tax Society and what's the difference between the two.
Okay, now Tax School is my first baby, right? So I've been in business for 8 years. Next year's gonna be my 9th year. And I had a tax school for each year. So this is actually my 9th tax school. I always have one prior to tax season. You know, tax school caters to a lot of individuals. You know, it caters to new tax preparers who need that foundation. They want to learn how to prepare tax returns. It's for the experienced tax preparers who need the updates and want to stay, you know, refreshed on the current tax laws. And also I have tax business owners who send their staff through the school because they don't have time to train, so they send them through the school. Okay. So that's tax school. I absolutely love tax school. So tax school is going on right now. Now my second baby is the Tax Connection Society, because as I was running the tax school, you know, I started to hear like similar conversation as far as people wanting to know how to start their own tax business. They just didn't know how, they didn't know what the requirements were, and other people just didn't want to help them. Yeah. Right. So, you know, they knew people in the business, but they just didn't want to give that help. So, you know, like I like that part. I love the educational part. I love teaching tax school as well as helping others start their own tax business. Because when I started my Liberty Tax business, it is a franchise, of course, so the system is in place, but at the same time, it's your business. So correct. Basically, I was doing things by myself. You know, when I got started 9 years ago, entrepreneurship wasn't really a big thing, so I didn't really see people like me. Right. So that's why with the society, you know, that's my second baby, because now I'm with you step by step. You know, you learning from my mistakes. Yes. And I made some mistakes. Yes, so, don't we all? Yeah, I made some costly mistakes, and now you learn from my mistakes. I went there with you 6 weeks, and we start your tax business from ground up. So we're gonna start the foundation as far as, you know, from the LLC, get your EIN, get your EFIN, and then each day it's a different topic on, you know, how to run a successful tax business. We give them templates, forms, software, everything. Yeah, they're gonna be ready. Okay. And then she also supports them in the membership. So after they're finished with the society or the tax class, whatever it is, there's an ongoing membership where people can come in, join the membership, and if they have questions at any point in time, Candy is there to support them, which I commend you on that, because like I said, a lot of times, even when we go, I know me personally, I'm in a mastermind, I pay for coaching on a consistent basis, and even though we may cover some things,
after the fact, after I get up and running, I have questions. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if I'm at the point where I'm not in the coaching program no more, who am I ask the question to?
Right.
So that membership is there to give ongoing support, continued support, whatever it is. So when you have questions, you have somebody that can mentor you and walk you through the process and help you overcome whatever the problem is, whatever the fear is. And then also other members in the group can help you as well, right? So you always want to stay connected to a circle of people that are similar to you, what
Right.
you're doing that can help you through the process. We are not an island. We should not be trying to do this thing alone, especially entrepreneurship. Like, there's no need to do entrepreneurship alone. There's too many coaches out here. There's too many people that are 10 miles ahead of you that you can connect to be like, listen, I'm trying to do exactly what you're doing. Can you coach me? Can you mentor me? And be open to investing in yourself. We all invest in ourselves to grow to the next level, right? And so this is why we are able to coach other people to go through the processes and all these other things or whatever, because we've invested in ourselves along the way. Like she said, she provides coaching because she made a lot of costly mistakes in the past, and she want to help people to avoid those mistakes. I too, that's how I'm an effective coach as I am today, because I've made a ton of mistakes, right? And right now I've created a blueprint for my clients to follow to be like, don't go that way, because that wall hurts when you run into it.
Right.
Avoid that pitfall, because this is what happens when you go that way, right? So that's literally what a coach is doing, giving you a blueprint to help navigate all of the pitfalls that they've made, so you can get to your level of success a lot quicker than they did. It took me years to get here where I am today, right? And it's going to take you years as well if you don't invest in a coach. You don't have that kind of time to waste. Invest in a coach. Like, you're not investing in a coach, you're literally investing in yourself.
Right.
Because this is helping me to move along faster, right? So I don't see that as me investing in my coach or paying my coach for the services. I see that as an investment in me to help me to accelerate my process, and that's just really the reality of it. So before we depart, you want to leave them with some departing words?
Yes, just like Ms. Annette was saying, invest in yourself. Recently, I've just been learning that, exposure is very, very important,
Very.
as well as personal development. So, that's why I'm in Annette's Mastermind and things of that nature, because now I want to be exposed to different things, because, what you don't know, you just don't know.
You don't know, that's
But,
right.
once you get exposed to these new ideas and new ways of thinking, as well as, other people who, are smarter than you, know more than you, that you can learn from, success is, you want success quick, right?
Quick, exactly. quick.
Success is speed, you want success quick.
Yes.
So, just recently, I've been all about, personal development, getting in the rooms, getting the doors, which is a big thing for me, because typically, like I said, I'm on a transition. Typically, I'm a shy person.
Behind the scene, right? Yeah, you was shy when I first met you. That's why I was like, baby, she coming out. Yes, Candy, yes.
I'm a shy person, but, I'm a shy person, but, I just like success, and
Yeah.
I have goals and things I want to reach, and I know I gotta reach them quick. I can't be shy. I gotta get out my,
Comfort
shell,
zone,
get out
and
my
yep.
comfort zone.
Mhm.
Put my business out there.
Because these kids want to dance and everything else, and you don't
Yeah.
know what your son gonna want to do.
Yes.
So get ready for that one. Well, tell the people how they can stay connected to you and follow you, Candy.
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at the Candy Rose, THE Candy KANDY Rose ROSE, or at Enhanced Tax, NIN Hands HANDS Tax, and Candy Rose on Facebook.
Okay, and your Enhance is on Facebook too?
Enhanced is on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Enhanced Tax and Consultant.
So that's on Facebook and on Instagram. So y'all follow her. Guess if you want to, you don't have to be in this area in order to be a participant in Tax School or the Tax Society. You can join virtually, right? The membership you can join virtually. So if you want to know anything about the tax game, Candy can definitely teach you. You want to stay in touch with her, you want to follow her, join the society, take the classes, join the membership, whatever it is that you have to do to get into the tax game and move yourself forward in your business if taxes is your interest. All right, y'all? So thank y'all so much for joining us this week for the Mind TV series as we move in new directions. We will be back with you next week, same time, same place, with another badass entrepreneur that's going to teach you how to move your life in new directions through your entrepreneurship journey. Until then, see y'all next week. Bye.